Now, here's Dominic Carter on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
AOC fakes that she was arrested, indicating that she was handcuffed when they only carried her away from a protest by her arm. And so she wanted the photo op to look like she was arrested. And so she acted it out. We're going to talk about those issues and many more. Dominic Carter here with you, but let's get right back to the telephone calls. Alyssa in Manhattan. Good morning, Alyssa. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Good morning, Dominic. I am going to try to improve your mood after you're having to put up with those phone calls by saying that what I am about to discuss has a lot to do with your influence. Now, last night you had made a comment saying that you didn't understand why so many members of the African-American community were being put now, either elected or whatever, into positions of authority, yet they were either unwilling or unable to make a difference in the community, and in some cases make it worse.
Well, now, that's paraphrasing what I said, but go ahead, Alyssa.
Okay. So for me, when I hear that someone is elected to a position, though those things, whether, that they are the first African-American or Hispanic or woman, are important, for me, that is not the top priority. And the top priority for me is, what are your qualifications? What have you done in your past that has helped the community and that has served the community to move it forward? Now, this is where your influence and things you have said comes into play. What's even more important to me is when I would like to hear about the challenges that these people have had to overcome in their childhood, as young adults, working their way up to where they're now in a position of authority, a position to actually do something. Because someone who has had to overcome challenges is equipped to overcome challenges of their new office. They have the life experience to do that. So for me, that says to me, okay, here's a person who knows what it's like to be up against things and to come out on the other side. And they have the experience for that. So, when you're talking about your challenges, and I think constantly of one thing you said that I'm always reminded of, where you said your grandmother had told you that you were going to have to work extra hard.
No, not extra hard, twice as hard.
Twice as hard. Okay, twice as hard.
And she was accurate.
And she told you the truth. It's not fair, but you can either be the victim or you can get out there, work, and make something of yourself and be the success.
And amen, because I'm not Alyssa. Alyssa, I have to move on because we have a lot of calls. But I thank you for your assessment. But with Mr. Bragg, the district attorney, I think he's incapable of doing the right thing. I think that he has an agenda, and he's not going to move from that agenda. He's not going to move from it. But you just mentioned being a victim or doing something about it. My attitude and philosophy, if you will, has always been that I'm going to do something about it, that I'm no one's victim. No one's victim. And, when Peter, who called, and I shouldn't have taken his call, but I'm trying to do the right thing. When he calls, oh, you're not black, you hate yourself. But so because I won't accept the dysfunction that goes on, that means I hate myself. Because I call out mistakes and bad behavior, that means that I hate myself. Sir, it is you that need to look into the mirror, not me. Not me. I am a strong brother. Believe me, folks, when I tell you. But I'm smart enough to know that when I take on a challenge, I'm going to come correct. I'm not going to come halfway. I'm not going to come saying I'm black, just put me in there. I'm going to come and I'm ready to compete with the very best as long as it is required or necessary. Let's go to our friend Hudson in the Bronx on ALC. Good morning, Hudson. What's on your mind, friend?
Dom, good morning, brother. It's always good to hear your voice, man.
Thank you.
If I can just say one thing, and then I'll get to my AOC point. I know you don't want to hear this. It's hard to hear compliments. I hate that people come at you, man. You're one of the kindest, one of the most intelligent people on the radio. I know you welcome the heat. That's the reason why you picked up for Peter and stuff. But I'll never understand why people come after you, man.
Well, the reason why I take his call, to be honest with you, is because I'm hoping that one day he's going to wake up and realize that the Peters of the world, that the way that they see things, that it's doing nothing to help them, is only hampering them. And so that's why I take the calls with the hope that, things will get better. But please continue, Hudson.
All right, thanks, Tom. Yeah, you got a good heart, brother. So with AOC, this is the new game. It's funny. I was talking to my pops the other day, and I saw it the other day. It's been happening for a while, but it's become more evident. When the Biden administration, which I don't even think he knows what he's doing anymore, but when they told him to come out with that whole 10-year-old with the abortion thing, and it came out, when the facts came out, that young lady didn't have to leave the state, and whatever, it was an illegal. Anyway, with AOC, with what she did today, with the fake behind the back, their new game that they came out with is that it's like, hey, we own the media. We can say whatever we want. It doesn't matter, because as long as we put the story out there first, it's out there. So all these people that are sheep, and I hate to call them sheep, that they just watch, they're not people that listen to WABC. They're not people, that watch, Newsmax or Fox. It's not people that read the paper. These are people that just drive by news. They they'll see something quick. They see that, oh my God, did you hear? AOC got arrested. Look at this picture. And they don't care. It's not true. Because then it'll get buried, and then all these news channels in the fine print, 2 weeks later, it'll be like, oh, we have to make this correction that, it didn't really happen. But
you're correct.
As always, I will finish like this. I love you, brother.
Well, thank you. I love you too, man. Thank you. And anybody that knows me knows my heart and where I'm coming from. So, if you want to call me a name, if that makes you feel better about yourself, go for it. If you think it's impacting me, you're fooling yourself. Let's go to LQ in the Bronx. Good morning, LQ. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Good morning, Dominic. We overcome evil with good. As far as the lady, Mr. Aber, it took them about a week after I noticed for the media really showed that this woman was stabbing him, and it made a difference. This really put the icing on the cake. It's really almost similar to the issue you were talking about yesterday with the this rapper and how the police, they didn't show how the police was respectful and didn't only show the fighting and all this.
Correct, LQ.
So that's the way I see it. And the Governor Hope also, she got to the smoke screen. Of course, Alvin Braggs, Braggs is under her and not to rock her boat and make her lose. So he had to make the decision. Otherwise, it would hurt her in the election bad. She probably would have lost.
Right. If she, LQ, I thank you for your call as always. It is my political opinion that if she replaced Alvin Bragg, she will lose the election. Democrats will stay home, particularly African-American Democrats, and it would be game over for Kathy Hochul. She is not going to do that. Michael in New Jersey, good morning. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Yeah, I wanted to say that as far as DeBlasio goes, on a scale of 1 to 10, he is a minus 500,000 as a mayor. He was a horrible, terrible, the worst mayor. But I will say one thing for him. Like Captain Smith of the Titanic, he didn't abandon the ship. Now that he's over, he is going to live in the city which he helped destroy. That's the only thing I'll say about him that's good. Unlike our mayor of today, he will not go down with the ship. When his term is over, if he doesn't move up, he will run back to Fort Lee, New Jersey. So as bad as de Blasio is, and he stunk, he was the worst, but as bad as he was, I have more respect for him than I do for Eric Adams.
Well, Michael, I appreciate your call. With de Blasio, what took him down? I mean, he did deliver on universal pre-K, but what took him down was his arrogance. I knew him for many years prior to him becoming mayor, when he became a city councilman, when he ran Hillary Clinton's campaign. But once he became mayor, his arrogance went from a 0 to 100.